What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Guys, I want to give a big shout out to a dear friend of mine. We've been back and forth and, in our friendship on YouTube, and that is Kevin Samuels. I've seen him from where he is to where he was, and nobody knows that growth like me and him. I remember him when he first came in to this space, and he's a hell of a guest. As good as he is now on as a live show presenter, my God, on the podcast. I mean, we saw the Adam 22 podcast. The Joe Budden podcast was flawless. He gave a magnificent demonstration, leaving some of the detractors on the podcast almost frozen, right? And I'm going to get into that in other parts of this series, but I do want to do a part one of this review. The best part of this episode, as dynamic as it was the last 15 to 20 minutes. And I hadn't listened to the whole thing yet. Brother George Macon told me. And yes, he did shout me out in the Negro Manosphere website. I'm giving a round of applause for that. But I want to talk to him about what he wanted to say to black men. Because, see, Kevin Samuels is known for what he says to black women. But I know him. The show your work, Kevin Samuels. If you're working less than 60 hours a week, you're a bum, Kevin Samuels. See, all of that gets lost in the sauce, but see, we're going to bring it back to what he really teaches, the gospel of Kevin Samuel. Not your average at best and height, weight, dress size. No, we're going to talk about some teachings here in the manosphere that deal with you. And I'm going to jump on this because the last part of the interview was the best part. And that is many black men in America. Many black men are irresponsible. Many of us are hardworking, but many of us are lazy. And many of us believe that women should listen to us without any proof of concept. I'm going to say it again. Many of us believe that black women should listen to us and submit to us with no proof of real leadership or ownership. And see, that's what is happening right now. Too many black men are 50-50 Negroes, but desiring that some woman should give him her time or submission. And did you remember the situation we talked about, how black men could be around competing? And if those group of guys go to Central Park or go around and sit around, how the women would be willing to listen to those guys and wanting to be around them because they're successful? See, you guys don't get the hint, do you? He talked about the need of black male media. Do you know what black male media is? It's competing against the white men. It's giving our room for our people to be able to monetize our talents with our own groups and provide for our families and our people, writing our own tickets. Many black men don't want to do that, but got the nerve to sit around complaining on YouTube, working 30 hours a week. You ain't doing nothing. You're lazy, you're dusty,
you stupid,
and you make it bad for the black men out there that is trying to be somebody in life. I'm gonna call it out because we have too many people that are joining in on the black man's discussion groups that ain't did shit. And he's absolutely right. A lot of black men are afraid to go out there and want to build something, to provide resources to the community. They're too busy talking and not producing. And as a man that works his ass off every day, and I'm in medical school, you see, I'm in medical school, I still produce more content than anybody in the black manosphere, anybody in black YouTube, because I believe in hard work, you see. And a lot of the problems that a lot of you brothers is going through because you don't want to work because some of y'all are lazy, I can relate to those issues, but that's not even me, because I don't have those issues all the time. Or most of the time, I'm a man. And see, y'all forgot about that part. But see, what is it going to take for you as an African-American man to want to work with your men? Do you know how me and Kevin Samuels work together behind the scenes? Or me and Obsidian, me and Dr. BOA, me and Alpha Male Strategies? mediocre tutorial reviews. As black men, we understand that we in the kind of content that we put out. It's not the kind that folks really like. It's against the system. It's unpopular. Me and my brother Sinful to P. But see, men are trying to work together to help each other out. You see. And many black men don't want to compete. Many black men don't want to compete. He talked about the situation where he was a sales rep in New York City. He talked about how when he was working in New York, he was a top producer, salesperson in the firm, and he hired all black people. And some of the other sales rep were upset at his managerial spot, and they asked him why he hired all black folks. He said because he can. And the reason why he could hire all blacks because he was high producing and he gave his people the resources to compete. And let me tell you this, being in the black manosphere, I know about that. I created the negromanosphere.com website and blog. I've shared my platform with many talented African-American producers, both male and female. I knew that in comparisons to the greater manosphere, or what we call the white manosphere, if we gave our guys the opportunity and a platform to come on and just get a leapfrog, they can do well. Now, obviously, guys like Kevin Samuels, guys like Donovan Sharp, guys like Alpha Male Strategies, guys like Stephens Coates, they put in their own work, but I knew that our guys could compete. I knew that our men had a shot. All we had to do is work together and give our men an opportunity to do something. Now you got mediocre tutorials and reviews. And shout out to the other brothers that have done that. Obsidian, it gets a great pass. Solo TV 84, Black Ram 313, and myself. We're the guys who brought almost everybody into the manosphere because our guys had the talent. Now we operate a multi-million-dollar earning content strategy. So much so now the world has listened to us because one of our guys made it to the mainstream, Kevin Samuels. Now Joe Budden, Adam 22. Don't be surprised, Joe Rogan. Now our issues are being talked about. We've been talking about those issues before Samuels came, but he's the one that made it bigger. And I always talk about Obsidian being the Peter and I'm being Paul. Obsidian's version of the manosphere is what we're in right now, the 2.0 generation. And Kevin Samuels in that generation. But Kevin Samuels is now, he's carrying the torch. He took the gospel to the Gentiles of what black men were going through. But that is an example of working hard, studying the algorithm, putting in the work every day. How many black men want to do that? How many of you black men are too scared to write your own goddamn ticket? And this is what we're talking about. Stop being lazy, complaining about women when you ain't gonna do nothing for your damn self. Women want winners. And there's too many of you black men out there that have too much goddamn talent. You're not doing nothing with your goddamn life. And you want somebody to respect you for being average. Nobody respects an average person. And it's one thing to be talented. You ain't got no hard work behind it. Don't nobody care. And you black men out there gotta have to start working together. You're gonna have to start building your people up. You're gonna have to start collaborating because we all have collaborated to make this community what it is. I'm able to do things in Africa because of the black manosphere, because brother supported me. Because of all the work I did, now I can take care of my family. If I wanted to, if I got married, my wife. Man, I could never do this in corporate America. I'm writing my own ticket. I'm having it my way. Because I can work with black men. I know how to deal with different black men's personalities. And God is blessing me for that. And you brothers need to understand there's another side of Kevin Samuels. A lot of you brothers ain't out there working. A lot of you brothers is lazy. A lot of you brothers ain't about your goddamn business. And it's totally okay when he's out here bigging up, he's roasting these sisters. But what about your lazy ass, some of y'all? Some of y'all lazy, don't want to do nothing. You're complaining you ain't got no killer instinct. That's why folk don't respect you. It ain't just a black one don't respect you. It's the white folks either. They ain't gotta like you. And he said the same thing. Those group of men that's making things happen, ain't nobody gotta like you, but they gotta respect you. And I'm looking for my goddamn respect. I don't care if you don't like me or not. I put the work in every goddamn day in what I do. The question is, do you? Well, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell, check out the first comment at the top, check out our Patreon, and as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.